On this episode, I'm going to show you how I construct the dinette area in the van. That's going to be a seating area for two and a table. What I plan to do is to construct two boxes 16 inches square and 16 inches high, and then put a lid on that so we can use those for storage, and then put the cushion on top of that so we can sit. I'm not going to put any backs on the seating area because back here I'm going to have more seating area beside the bed. So this is just when we want to sit and eat in the van. We have a nice dinette area for eating, and the place back there, once I have it constructed, will be more for just chilling out and relaxing. I'll give you a quick look of where I'm planning to put the seating area, and also there's a step beside the sliding door. So once I have everything constructed, I'll then construct the framing so I can raise up the step and get that all level, so then I can actually put the seating area on the step as you walk in the van. So I'll just show you now what I'm talking about. This is where I'm going to have the dinette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct the two seats, and then I'm going to have a table here. I'm going to have it that I can actually hook on and hook off the table to the side wall here. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm sure if you stay tuned for the rest of this video, we'll figure it out. That's the plan for this episode. The first thing I'm going to do before I do anything, cut any wood, I'm going to draw out exactly what it is I plan to do, and then take some measurements. So let's do that and let's crack on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first make two frames like so. Excuse my crap drawing. So I'm going to construct two of them for each seat, and then what I'll do is I will join them together with cross battens. So 4 cross battens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll have the other frame on the opposite side. Then for the outside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some pallets that I have, and I'm going to pallet the outside of the boxes, and then what I'll do is I'll get a moulding and I'll put a moulding on each corner to I'll give it a nice finish, and then I'm going to put a lid on it with probably a piano hinge, and that'll be it then. And I might put a moulding on the bottom of it, just so when you're kicking off it all the time with your feet, that it's protecting the bottom of it. Now that I have the frame of the seat constructed, I'm going to clad it with some cladding. So I'm just going to cut this tongue and groove cladding and then secure it to the outside of the frame. Now that I have the cladding secured to the outside of the seat, the next step to do is to put a base on it. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use these reclaimed pallets that I have, and I'm going to stain them, and then I'm going to put them at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mold on the top of it and then cut them at a 45-degree angle and put that the whole way around. Once I have these pallets nailed to the bottom of the seat, I'm then going to run this bead, so that's just going to give it a nice finish, and it'll clean up the corner here. I'm going to paint this moulding white, so then that will give a nice contrast between the white moulding on the edges and the walnut finish for the cladding. It's pissing raining again, so I've had to get the gazebo out so I can actually finish this and get it done today. I've cut this 9mm ply for the lid of the seat. The next thing to do is cut this piano hinge with the hacksaw and then screw the lid onto the seat. This is the second seat and this is the first seat. I wasn't able to record the whole process of how I constructed the first seat because it was raining for days. I had to put this together under the gazebo and the rain was coming down heavy. What I did was I put on skirting on the bottom of it here, as you can see, and I just need to fill it in at the edges with some filler and then give it a final rub of the varnish. I have these blocks in here, these 3 blocks. That's where the screws are coming up. I'm going to actually cut a strip and I'm going to put a strip on there because it'll look better when there's a strip rather than just 3 separate blocks. I'll then sand the edges of the top and then paint it all white and give it a nice coat of white. And then when it's finished, I have these cushions that I bought, and they're a nice blue and they're a nice height. I originally bought cushions from IKEA, but they were like this height and you wouldn't sit on them for any length of time, so then I decided to get nice ones, and it's a really good one and it's going to go well with the actual colour scheme of the inside of the van. So this is one now complete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off this second one and I will talk you through the process because it's not raining and I can show you exactly how I've done it. So let's get to work and we'll finish off that. I need it. The next thing to do is cut this piano hinge and then secure the lid onto the base using the piano hinge. That's the lid now connected to the seat using the piano hinge, and I used 3 screws to secure the piano hinge to the base and then 3 screws to secure the lid to the base. And what I did was every second one I put a screw, so I put a screw in the first one, then skipped that one, and then the second one, and then what I did was I did the opposite then in the piano hinge for the lid. I put a screw on every second piano hinge. The next step is to cut the strip for back here, so I can then screw the screws up into that strip, because right now they're protruding a small bit out. So as you can see there, the 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, are sticking out a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip of this cladding, and then I cut about that strip, and then put the strip on top of the screws, and from underneath screw back through, so then you won't get caught on those screws. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll also round the edges with the router. When I have the edges rounded with the router, I will then secure this strip to the back just to cover these. That's the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, and it'll give you some ideas on how to make a seat for your camper. And the next thing to do is to build a foundation for the step, so I can actually put this on the step area of the van. So where the sliding door is, there's a step. It's going to cover half of the step, so obviously I can't put it on the step at the moment because the step is there. So I'm going to frame it out and then put a bit of ply over the frame, and then I can actually put the seat on top of the step. So I will show you that in the next episode. That's the 2 seats now complete for the dining area. The last thing to be done for the dining area is to do the table. Thanks a million for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Also give the video a like, and I will see you on the next one.